So I have to say, I think Alanis Morissette put it perfectly when she said,
"Isn't it ironic?
The baby on the album cover of Nirvana's Nevermind is suing pretty much everybody." Let's get into it. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to, I guess this is my first official episode here on Ord's World. So I wasn't really planning on covering a whole bunch of article stuff here on this channel. That's more for my Ord's Board stuff over there. But if it's kind of relevant, at least to what we cover here on the channel, i.e. like the 90s stuff, and that's significant to that, we'll cover it here. So I did want to cover this story, and I don't know if any of you guys have heard this. Is kind of crazy, so the baby on the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind is now suing the band, and not just the band, but pretty much anybody involved with the band throughout the years. Anyway, guys, before we dive into the article, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscription button down below. We're getting close to 500 subscribers on this channel, trying to get to 1K as soon as we can. We're going to do some streaming on this channel as well here in the near future, so stay tuned to that. But anyway, guys, let's talk about Nirvana. All right, so I don't know how well you guys can see the article. Hopefully this video turns out well. This is my first Ord's World format video, so we're working things out with overlays and backgrounds and stuff like that. But I really dig the Wayne's Basement background, so we'll probably keep that for a while. All right, so here we are with an article from the AV Club. The Nevermind baby is suing Nirvana for child porn. I'm not going to get too much into like dialogue here. I'm not going to say certain words because I know YouTube doesn't like that sort of thing. But you know, you guys will understand through context what exactly we're talking about. And before we go into the article, I'm not saying that this isn't necessarily the case. But there's always somebody out there trying to grift some kind of money from somebody. So with that being said, let's get into the article. There are few album covers more iconic than Nirvana's Nevermind. Heck, there are few album covers more recreated than Nirvana's. That's true. There's been a lot of recreation. I think even Weird Al did a recreation of that. I mean, a lot of people did recreations of that. I mean, it's just so iconic. And I mean, even growing up, like being there when that album dropped, seeing the album art, yeah, it was a little weird, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. And I mean, maybe there is like a meaning behind it. Maybe like Kurt Cobain and the band had a meaning behind it. If you guys know that, if you guys have like heard that along the way, let me know in the comments down below what the actual meaning behind the album cover is. But at least how I interpret it is just like, you know, a play on, you know, monetary gains with society wanting, you know, the almighty dollar. Babies not knowing how to swim but trying to get the dollar, like they're willing to drown for $1, that sort of thing. I don't know, I could be wrong. If I was to even just sit and think about it, that's kind of where my mind would go first. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about that. But I never once was like, oh, this, you know, this is child, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. I never once thought that was the case with this. And I think that was pretty much everybody else's thought process. I mean, I just don't see that being the intention of the band originally. But let's continue with the article. But while the cover has long been considered a statement about capitalism, like I was saying, capitalism, the now grown infant from the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind has a new interpretation of the photo, child prawn. Yeah, man, I think I gotta be honest, that's a bit of a stretch, and especially as long as that album's been out and nobody seemed to make a big deal about it before. Of course, you had the religious groups and stuff probably protesting Nirvana, but that would have been from the beginning, because that did happen a lot in the 90s from what I remember. Spencer Eldon, better known as the Nevermind Baby, now a 30-year-old man, is suing the surviving band members Dave Grohl, Chris Novoselic, and Kurt Cobain's estate, among others, for the use of the image of the cover of their landmark album. He filed suit against the band Tuesday in Los Angeles, accusing them of violating child porn laws, and is seeking damages, legal fees, and injunction. that would prohibit the distribution of the photo and a trial by jury. The suit says that the inclusion of the dollar makes the infant look like a, to quote, sex worker grabbing for a dollar bill, describing the photograph as a sex trafficking venture that forced Eldon to, again, to quote, engage in commercial fun adult acts while under the age of 18. Now, here's the thing. I think this is just very much a bit of a stretch, considering the fact that this album has been out for so long. It's been reprinted, redistributed so many different times. Nobody's seemed to have an issue with it up until now. And, of course, it would be today, and 30 years, you didn't say anything when you were younger, you didn't have any problem when you were younger, and think about what this would mean for like reprints or redistributions of this record. You would have to have a completely different record, and that is an image that people like identify with Nirvana. When you think of Nirvana, you cannot think of that album cover. So I think it would be absolutely ridiculous at this point to expect their Cobain estate to change this. This album cover, it would be very, it would be weird. It would be, I think, in the idea of what Kurt Cobain meant about music and his art and things like that. I think it would be an absolute spit in the face of somebody who gave us such great music, like that album, In Utero, all the other albums that Nirvana put together. It would kind of be a spit in the face of that person. And again, nobody's had an issue with this until now, and it goes even deeper than this. And we'll actually talk about it here now, actually. So according to Variety, this is what the suit states. Defendants intentionally commercially marketed Spencer's child porn and leveraged the shocking nature of his image to promote themselves and their music at his expense. Defendants used child, you guys know, depicting Spencer as an essential element of a record promotion scheme commonly utilized in the music industry to get attention, wherein album covers post. Okay, so what he's saying is that, like, in Hollywood, this was a regular thing to try to promote. I don't think that was ever the intention of Kurt Cobain and the band to use that to try to promote themselves, because as far as I know, they were pretty big before that record even came out. I don't really think they needed to promote themselves in a drastic way like that. I think it was just art and symbolism, what the band was trying to convey. So again, this is just kind of a bit of a stretch, and to say that, like, oh, this, is referencing, or this makes it look like I'm a sex worker. Like, nobody, I never once when I looked at that image did I think that of a sex worker in that way. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought of that. I always thought of capitalism and how we're willing to drown just to make a dollar. At least that's what comes to my mind with it, and it's never been like the other stuff. Eldon has long stated that he had a complicated relationship with the album cover. However, as noted by Variety, he's recreated it several times. And this is kind of where, like, almost The Boy Who Cried Wolf, like, you recreated this several times throughout the years, and now all of a sudden, as a 30-year-old man, you have a problem with it when it was all fine and dandy before. But now, when you need money or whatever the hell is going on with your life, then you're coming out saying that, I was exploited, this, that, and the other. But posing in the water for the 10th, 17th, and 20th and 25th anniversaries. That's several times. That's 4 times he's recreated this. Nevertheless, he claims that his parents were never properly compensated for the shoot, saying they received $200 for the now iconic photograph. In addition, the suit alleges that they never even signed a release for the photo, let alone royalties on the different pieces of merchandise his image has appeared on over the last 3 decades. In recent years, his relationship with the photo has soured, going as far as to tell GQ Australia in 2016 that the picture was effed up and that he's pissed off about it. But yet you recreated it 4 different times in your life, but somehow it's messed you up, or it's you. Look, man, it would have been different if you would have said something years ago. But if you ask me, this is just a ridiculous suit for somebody to try to gain money. I don't know of anybody who's ever thought of this album cover being anything other than artwork. and very iconic artwork at that. I mean, that was Nirvana, right? They were edgy. They were creating art. You know, you listen to Kurt Cobain talk in a lot of his interviews, and he was creating art in his mind. So I don't think it was any intention of them to do that. And then again, recreating it, man. Like, you come on, like, you're just making yourself look stupid, you know. Anyway, and then you take a look at the whole. Okay, we got paid $200 for the shoot. Well, that's just the way it was. That's what people did. I mean, you can't come back and say that there wasn't any royalties when the deal was we'll give you $200 if we could take this photo. Okay, that's that. I don't think any royalties are owed to you, my dude. And considering the fact that you were a kid, if you're going to sue anybody, you should be suing your parents because they're the ones that allowed it to happen. In a 2008 interview with NPR, Eldon's father recalls shooting the cover. He said to the photographer Kurt Weedle, called him and asked to, quote, "Hey, Rick, want to make $200 and throw your kid in the drink?" I don't know what you mean by the drink. Okay, I don't know what that means. Anyway, he continues to, quote, "Well, I'm shooting kids all this week. Why don't you meet me at the Red Rose Bowl, or the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center? Throw your kid in." I'm guessing we'll just call it pool. Throw your kid in the pool. We just had a big party at the pool, and no one had any idea what was going on. Spencer Eldon claims lifelong damages due to the cover and seeks $150,000 from each defendant, including the band members, Courtney Love, various record labels, and executor and manager of Kurt Cobain's estate. Boy, this dude is really, he must be in some serious need for cash. He also names former Nirvana drummer Chad Channing, who didn't even play on the album. All told, Nirvana sold more than 30 million records to date, making it one of the best-selling albums of all time. Of course it is. And part of that is because of the cover. And, you know, this is how bands did, you know, at least when I was playing in bands, this is how we did it. We paid people a little bit of money to try to record. We knew it wasn't going to be, I mean, we would, if the band did get big, we weren't expecting anybody to come back to us and say, "Oh, you guys were big. You only paid me $150 for that track to lay down that track on the band." And it's, no, man, we paid you what we paid you. That was the deal. They asked if you wanted to make $200. Your dad said, yeah. If you got a problem, you should probably look to your parents and sue them instead of everybody under the sun who basically fucking interacted with the band Nirvana. You know what? Screw it. Why not just sue all the fans as well? All the people who bought the album for owning it. That's how ridiculous this is. I don't think this is going to see much more than what this is. They're going to close this. I don't think there's going to be kind of settlement. This guy's not going to get any money, and if he does, it's just absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about all of this. And again, let me welcome you guys to Ord's World. We're going to do more stuff like this, talking about bands, talking about music, 90s music. It's going to be great. So hopefully you guys like this sort of thing. Again, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about this whole craziness. If you guys think that this dude's going to get any kind of money from it, I would love to have that conversation down below. Anyway, guys, make sure you hit that subscription button down below. All the good stuff, bells, all that, hit it. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me here in Ord's World. And remember, guys, party on.